tell them nothing, right? But I'll get there.
Greetings and welcome back to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray for the Business Building Network.
And I'm Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions Consulting and Speaking Group. We are excited about today's conversation with you, our viewers. We want to stop and just say thank you for everyone who subscribed to our channel, liked and share. The momentum is growing with this movement of what's holding you back. Folks are interested and super intentional on what they're going to do to change. So, Rob, today, before we get into the 20-minute conversation, we're going to say it's you time.
It's you time. It's all about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the purpose of this broadcast, as we like to share each and every time we come on board, is to educate you and to empower you and help you to become the best. I mean, the absolute best possible version of yourself. So we're just going to be sharing some information with you. So all that we ask is that you invest 20 to 30 minutes with us each and every week. And that's every Wednesday right here at 6 p.m. as we're going to be sharing this information with you. So let's get into our topic for today. But before we do that, we're going to do a very brief recap of what we went over last week, and then we will get into our discussion for today. So, yes, Christine, she is back with us. But last week, we had a wonderful discussion about showing you some different marketing strategies that you need to start to implement within your business to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're able to reach the audience that has already shown some type of interest in the types of products and services in which you have to offer. So if you missed that broadcast last week, I want to encourage you to go on over to our YouTube channels. Christine's YouTube channel is Clear Ambitions, and my YouTube channel is Rob McCray Networking. And just click on the live button, and that will show you all of our live broadcasts throughout the weeks of all of the information that we have shared. Yes, and Christine, it has already been a little over a month since we've started these broadcasts.
And it's been a really, really exciting time. It's a time of growth, of thinking about taking 20 minutes once a week, much less taking 20 minutes once a day to really think and clear your mind about what is your next move, and what's holding you back in making that move. So, getting right into today's conversation, it's, are you too legit to quit?
She
Yeah,
went there. Okay, so it's gonna be that type of
it's
party. All
it's
right,
about, are you
let's
too legit
go.
to quit? All right.
Yes.
Yes. And we're talking about being legitimate and what we're going with that train of thought. But first, we're going to pause here for
Mhm.
inspiration word of the day.
All right.
All right.
So always stand up for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone. And
Mm.
brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you that so many times we are a little timid to stand on those things in which we truly believe in if we feel like we're going to be isolated and be the minority and stand out all alone. So sometimes we'll just sit back and not say nothing rather than standing strong with a true conviction and belief in what we are truly standing on.
Wow. So if you're legitimate in your belief,
Yes.
you stand up for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone.
Stand
That's
strong.
That is so important to your psyche, your self-esteem, um, and you know, right or wrong, you being true to yourself. That just illuminates an energy.
It does.
Amen. Illuminates an energy around that people will see your authentic self, that you're an
Yes.
authentic person. Folks like to say, I'm keeping it real, keeping it real. Well, a lot of people that say that are not. They're
Yes,
trying.
right.
I mean, they're doing their therapy. They're repeating their the little cue cards. But
Yes.
it's so important. I love this. Always stand for what you believe in,
Yeah.
even if it means standing alone. So now, with that being in mind, standing for what you believe in, let's invest what you believe in as well.
Hmm.
So we're investing in you, investing in your business, because this conversation is about registering your business, keeping it legit, right? And what's the best option for you? Now,
Hmm.
this is not legal advice. I am not a legal counsel. I'm not a registered therapist. I am a coach, a mentor. So I will revert back to everything that we say. You go back and do your research, your Google searches, and most of all, a tax advisor. At bare minimum, we have personal tax advisors, and they are subject matter experts on what's the best avenue, the best tax options. We talk a little bit about taxes and options there. But first of all, first and foremost, we spoke in one of our broadcasts, Rob. In the beginning, we said there's a heart space
Yeah.
with your business,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So with that being said, there's a heart space in your business. The business is a part of you, your branding, if you will. That all flows into now how you are going to conduct your business, how you're going to show up in the marketplace. Are you going to show up as a sole proprietor? Are you going to show up which is a solopreneur? There's entrepreneurs, there's solopreneurs, right? So you are sole proprietor. Are you going to show up as with a partner or partners, right? So partnership can be more than one. And then we have the limited liability, the corporations, right? So and also in limited liabilities, we'll speak a little bit about a foundation. So
Okay.
if you want to go into the 501c,
Yes.
then we talk a little bit about that. It's still under the corporate umbrella LLC, but of course it's non for profit,
Okay.
right? So where do we want to start? First things first. You spin the wheel, Rob. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with a sole proprietorship. Solo.
Oh, so you're solo. When you are solo in your business, it's there's a guy that comes around and he mows the lawn. He throws the lawnmower in the back of the truck and
Mhm.
goes on to the neighbor. He goes around the neighborhood and it's cash only. That's how most folks find they kind of testing the water, seeing this is going to work out, see if I can really make a living out of this. I'm going to give up my plan A for this plan B, being a solopreneurship. So the risks of that being a solopreneurship. First, I'm going to talk about how it makes you feel,
Mhm.
right? So there's a positive, there's a pro. Hey, people love being their own boss. You're making your own hours, having that responsibility. Now, one of the things that folks get twisted with being an entrepreneur is, oh, it sounds great. I own my own business. It's way more responsibility than being an employee.
It
So
is.
if you're someone that ducks responsibility, doesn't like um, you don't mention overtime. You working 24/7 sometimes when you're an entrepreneur.
That's
I'm
right.
talking, yeah. So if you don't like overtime and all of that, then really do yourself a checklist and
Yeah.
see if you want to step into this. Is that right, Rob? What's your experience?
Absolutely. You have to be one that is self motivated because there's not gonna
There you
be
go.
anyone to push you and tell you to go out there and do your business or to
Mm,
go to work. You have to find that motivation, that desire, that passion within yourself and say, I'm
mm.
gonna go out there and do it and make it happen regardless of what.
And remember, we asked you earlier on, are you doing this because you want to do it? You
Mm,
have to do it, or
yeah,
you need to do it?
absolutely.
This is proof in the pudding. Being a solopreneur will tell you exactly if you got what it takes. And hey, if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Hmm.
It's, if you need to that stability, that steady, income, so to speak, with punching a clock or otherwise, then so be it.
That's right.
But just be honest with yourself. It's okay. That's be honest with yourself. But when it comes to the reasons why you want to be a solopreneur, now, um, are you a solopreneur because you feel the business won't yield enough money to share? Are you solopreneur because you rather work alone? What I mean, you like that your one man show. So the risk on being solopreneur, again, the accountability of, and the risk of putting your lawnmower, and put in the analogy of the folks that do landscaping. They put a lawnmower in the back of the truck, and you're riding down the street cutting lawns and cash. Your bank account is your back pocket.
Hmm.
you know let's talk about being legit. We talk about too legit to quit. What are the risks in doing that, Rob?
The risk in just having an illegitimate business.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Or
great
let's say
risk.
non-registered business.
Okay, yes, great term. Yeah, there's great risks associated with that. Um, so anytime when you're out there doing a job for someone and the kindly neighbors over there want to request that the law come out and investigate to see who this person is doing this work over here. And if the police ever come and they ask you for your credentials as
Uh-oh.
to make sure that, yeah, you are legally registered to be able to do this type of work in which you are doing, then you're going to find yourself in big problems, and you don't want to encounter those type of issues. Another thing is,
Hmm.
if you're not a registered business, then there's no way that you will be able to get funding for your business. You need that venture capital to grow and really make your business ascend to the next level. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to go to the banks and say, "Yeah, I have my business. Okay, where's your business and your tax ID number, your
Hmm.
business registration, your business license, and all of those credentials?" "Oh, I don't have that. I'm just starting out." Well, yeah, when you get that information, then you come back over to us, and then we can see if we can help you out with some capital for your business. So
Wow.
those are some of the major problems and issues that you're going to run into if you don't have a registered business.
Great points. Great points. So if you are going to venture out and you're going to take the risk, you might as well do it right and
Yeah.
have yourself registered. You as Rob said, you're cutting yourself short with
Hmm.
options. That's a great point. Now the next, we're going to go on to partnership.
Hmm.
Now, partnership, you have more than one partner. Sometimes there's four partners, there's silent partners. So the partnership, it's a relationship.
Yes.
It's 100% relationship. Some say it's like a second marriage. You're
True.
that close to know, okay, you're in partnership, you're best friends today, but when you're in business partners, it's another ball game altogether. That they
Ooh,
all together, they say business is business, right?
that's right.
Business is business. So when you're in a partnership, have everything in writing. I
Yes.
can't emphasize enough.
Say
There's
it
a
again. Say it again. Say it
client
again.
that I have, great idea, great vision for restaurant, but the bar, my friend really makes great rum punch, or my friend makes great, carrot juice and natural smoothies.
Hmm.
Oh, we don't have to worry about profit sharing and all that. No, we're putting it in writing, um, and it just, yeah, it just doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out because if unless it's in writing, it's not real.
That's right. That's right.
So,
'Cause you're
mhm,
always going to come to a place where you're going to have a conflict about remembering the conversations, if you did actually have these conversations, in how
mhm.
the splits are going to go and what money is going to be allocated towards these different things within the business, and who's going to be putting up that money, and how are we going to split the profits. So yes, all of these things need to be put into writing to make sure that when these problems arise, because they will, you
Mhm.
will have the paperwork is documented, and you can just show your partner or business partners, listen, just go over to the contract, and in paragraph 3, sides 4 and 4, whatever the case may be, it's right
Mhm.
there, black and white, so there's no more dispute. And another thing, Christine, what you stated about having a partnership. Uh, let's talk about having a partnership with family involvement.
Mm.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
yeah, let's touch
Wow.
on that a little bit.
Well, family and business.
Mhm.
That's I heard that's an oil and water.
Yeah, it
That's
can
an
be.
oil and water dynamic.
It can be.
You cannot emphasize enough, put it in writing when it
Yeah,
comes to personalities. You could be, the same blood but different mindsets. So
absolutely.
one person's really go with the flow, the other person's detail oriented, one
Hmm.
person's a risk taker, the risk tolerance is huge. What's your investment going to be? Should you invest in this, that, or the other? And so that's where conflicts come into play. And you're never in business by yourself. So
That's
unless you're sole, even if you are a sole proprietor and you're married, you're not in
right.
business by yourself. There is a silent partner somewhere. Silent partners get compounded and complex.
Mhm.
You have, you know, family members, but then there's in-laws and cousins, everyone else that has
Uh,
an opinion. Um,
yes.
you know, so that says on its own, have your lawyer, have your legal counsel,
Hmm.
and have a business person, marketing a guru like Rob and the business building network team do the research for you. Is it viable? It's all right within this neighborhood. You're selling a lot of ribs. Everybody loves your sauce. But let's see if it's marketable. Let's see if it's sustainable. Let's see your logistics
Yeah.
and really think it through,
Right.
right? So that's the partnership aspect of business. Next, we're going to go into an LLC, which is a limited liability company. A limited liability company is a corporation, and this in itself is complex in the
Mhm.
sense of you'll need a board of directors at
Okay.
minimum, president, vice president, secretary, um, to have a good solid foundation,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I won't go too much details into the logistics of the LLC, but if you're going to register an LLC, most likely you're doing international business, hopefully businesses with across multi-states. And you have an LLC, you have to be very disciplined in tax and all scenarios. We are legit, we're too legit to quit. We are in this mindset, especially with an LLC, keeping your records straight. Now, I say especially in an LLC because there's regulations with that, and of course with the board meetings and everything else like that. Folks that want an LLC, that's on advice, whether through legal counsel or again your tax advisor to say, hey, this is a viable business. You're going to take it to this level, and
Right.
you're having an LLC. An LLC will by default spell out the roles and responsibilities of the board.
Yeah.
So aside from a partnership, the LLC has a clear cut and it's open um, clauses, rules, regulations, code of conduct. Whoever you are partnering with, whether it be on the board or even in a partnership, you have to be mindful of their reputation as well, because then that flows into the business. So
Yes.
again, that's another way of looking at it. LLCs, you have S corps and you have C corps. Those are tax IDs. So how you want to handle your taxes goes into one of the main reasons why folks lean towards the S corp. It's a simpler tax calculation with the IRS. But if you're going into a C corp, most likely you'll have shares or will have shares in the future. So you go into a C corp. Those again, those are not types of businesses, those are tax categories and how you apply or how you are taxed with the IRS.
Okay, okay. So I'm glad you said that, Christine, because that's very important that we have a better understanding of how to structure our businesses so we can get the best possible tax breaks when it comes to diversifying our funds and getting
Hmm.
the best bang for our buck. And this is where many of us go wrong when it comes to structuring our business and having it set up that is in a way that is most beneficial to us. So we always wonder, excuse me, we always wonder and say, why do the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer? Because we're uneducated in understanding the different tax breaks and tax codes that can be great reliefs to us. And all of these things can be write-offs, like your living expenses, your driving expenses, your food expenses. All of these things can become tax write-offs if your business is structured properly. So I'm just so glad that you mentioned that, Christine, and you're giving us so much information about this.
Absolutely. When it comes to registering your business and having a certified chartered accountant
Mhm.
in your corner, and that's one of the biggest, um, oversight. The folks will overlook the importance of having a chartered accountant that is going to maintain your compliance and
Mhm.
give you the advice, right?
So,
How to prosper in your business.
so it's very necessary for us to have a certified public accountant to help us in structuring the business.
Absolutely. And it lends to legitimacy when you're filing the taxes as well, right?
Okay.
So certified chartered accountants will not skirt around or play when it comes to their certifications and their reputation.
Hmm.
They are held by code of conduct, right? A code of ethics. So
Yes.
that being said, you want to protect your biggest asset
Mhm.
when it comes to tax liabilities, legitimacies. We have an opportunity at this time for folks to really just pause and take a look at how serious are they about starting a business.
Mhm.
If it's a hobby or a business,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. If it's a hobby, they're not talking to folks that are doing hobbies. We're talking folks that want to start a business. And if you want to start a business with a bank account, the banks are going to ask for that paperwork.
Absolutely.
Even if you're sole proprietorship, a
Mhm.
solopreneur, they're going to ask for that registration with the FEI number, your federal ID number, and get you, started with either your line of credits, your credit cards, and
Mhm.
keep the momentum going with being a legitimate business owner. There are more pros than cons. Folks hear about paying taxes and they run for the hills. There there are there are pros that I can't emphasize that enough in paying taxes. It's in
Okay.
your best interest.
Excellent. All right. So also, can you touch upon the protection that the corporation and the LLC will provide in terms of if someone was to ever try to sue you, then how would that protect you as an individual as opposed to the corporation?
Absolutely. If you have assets, you married or otherwise, you have a home, you have a vehicle, especially in your name, your tax ID, your social security number is separate and apart when it comes to filing your personal taxes than the corporation on an LLC,
Okay.
right? And so, with that being said, then if someone was to have a complaint about, the lawn, you dug up their lawn, and they're going to sue you for their, landscaping charges and so forth, that, um, you know, that's not going to come against you personally. It's
Mhm.
going to come to your corporation in your corporation's name. And so that's looked at separate and apart. So then the liability, the expense does not hit your credit rating. That's a huge part to protect that as well. And it's important to be registered, speaking of credit ratings, to build your business credit rating.
Excellent, excellent. So yes, at the bottom of your screen is Christine Allen's email address. So if you have any further questions about the topic that we are discussing today, or any other previous topics in which we have discussed, Christine did an amazing presentation on how to write out your business plan. And once again, if you did not catch that broadcast that was 2 weeks ago, I want to encourage you to go on over to her YouTube channel, which is Clear Ambitions, and watch that broadcast. It was so much information in there, and it's going to help you with being able to write a business plan for yourself. Or if you wanted to hire Christine to do it for you, then you will have all the tools and information that you need to go ahead and do so. And please, family, if you're watching these broadcasts and you're getting some information from it, and you feel like we're giving you something that is of value, please subscribe, like, and share this content. It's going to help us out tremendously in getting the word out, because that's what we're here for. We're here to educate and to empower so that we can all live our best possible lives.
And absolutely, we will know that there you can't get, something for nothing. And that's something when it comes to owning your business is your time.
Yes,
It
yes,
is your time. It's such an important aspect of our lives that we take our time for granted.
yes, we do.
So it's one of yes, when it comes to deciding whether or not you want to stick to a 9 to 5 and be a part of a team, an awesome team at a corporation, that's fine. That's where you want to spend your time. Spend it well. Do your excellent job. Same with your business.
Hmm.
Don't take yourself for granted. If you're going to start your business, it's going to require more of your time,
Yes, absolutely.
more of your time to being your own boss. So I say that because we want to segue into our homework for next week. Now, a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, Rob actually gave us some homework. It's a PDF on, time management,
Yes, yes.
looking, taking a deep dive into your time management, what you're doing with your time. So we want to have the homework for next week. I want us to go into YouTube and look up a book called Atomic Habits,
Okay.
and Rob's going to share the link there.
Mhm.
There's a summary of the book, and talks about, I think, about 20 atomic habits. And the reason why that's important because your success is hidden in your daily routine.
Yes, it
Pay
is.
attention to what you think about the first thing you wake up in the morning. What's your routine?
Hmm.
What is your routine? What are your thought patterns? Um, it's so important because Rob spoke about the discipline of being an entrepreneur, solopreneur, discipline of being a partnership, the accountability when you're doing a business and you're in a point where you are the employer, you're the boss, you're the um, person writing the checks, right? Authorizing the direct deposits. There's a lot riding on your shoulders, a lot more. So let's talk about atomic habits. What are your habits? Are you cut out for this? Are you, you know, are you ready to be honest with yourself and find out what's holding you back? Today we spoke about business. In business, what's holding you back from being too legit to quit? It was being that registered business owner,
Yes.
printing your business cards with the LLC as a, behind your name, behind your business name. Uh, we didn't even touch on the importance of your business name, but we can touch on that another time. I'm sure that that's something that marketing guru Rob McCrae at Business Building Network can absolutely touch on the importance of your business name. So next week, I look forward to talking about the atomic habits. I think we should maybe dedicate the entire broadcast to atomic habits because
Okay.
those habits that we want to break. There's some habits of maybe we can talk about procrastination. That's a habit.
A big one. That's a big one right there. Yeah. And I think we're all guilty of that in some
Mhm.
way, shape, form, or matter. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, procrastination. And then how to break out of that, ideas and how to break out of that. Do
Mhm.
we have, even if you're a solopreneur, it's great to have absolutely folks around you that have good habits. So not only looking at your habits, but eventually you're going to pick up other habits too. So
Right.
see what, yeah, who you're hanging around, who you're talking to.
And Christine, in saying that, it goes both ways. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that have some very poor habits, you're going to pick them up as well. So it's very important as to who you surround yourself with, because you are the sum of the five people that you spend the most time with. And that's going to be a great reflection upon who you are. So there's an old saying, you show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. It is oh so true.
So we're talking about businesses and registering business.
Hmm.
Um, you know, is what you're saying, does that flow into the business world?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You think
Because
so?
who you are as a person is going to ultimately go and have a reflection upon who you are as a business owner. They work hand in hand. There's not going to be a separation in the two. You are the business, you are the brand. So
Hmm,
your brand and who you are is going to be a reflection upon your business. Absolutely.
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 So you're gonna hang around. Okay, so I'm getting this. Hold on. So you're hanging around successful business folks, other folks that are in the circle of registering, so you can glean from the experience. Is that what you mean? Like,
Not so much just the registration aspect, but just successful people in general. They're going to, their characteristics, their traits, the things that they do are going to start to rub off on you. And you're not even going to be conscious of it. Just like when we have our conversations behind the scenes, I pick up so much from you, Christine, because you are such a perfectionist. You are very thorough in the work that you do. And it just inspires me to do better because I'm lacking in that regards in some ways. But just by being around you and having those conversations
mhm.
with you, I know that you are one that's going to dot all of the I's and cross all of the T's. So I know that, yes, I have to be better. Why? Because I know that you're going to have that um, spirit of excellence and professionalism in anything that you do. So I need to have that as well. And that
Well,
comes from being around people that are going to make you better, picking up their habits. You follow me?
I hear you. I appreciate the comments. I'm pleasantly surprised. But as you're speaking,
Hmm.
and this show is called "What's Holding You Back," I'm glad you mentioned that thing about perfectionism, and because that on the other side has slowed down my progress.
Yeah.
Because overthinking,
Yes. Yes.
overthinking, and
Yes.
so I'm thinking, oh, you're actually learning something from me, and I'm learning from you to relax, just go with it. And that's another personality as we conclude today's episode of What's Holding You Back
Right.
is, you're a jumper, like Steve Harvey would say, just jump,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I, I mean, I'm watching and I'm like, okay, you just jump. And that's sometimes that's a business mindset as well. Just
Okay.
jump in and
Right.
get started. So what's held me back and holds me back is overthinking. So that perfectionism, that what if, and we have jump, okay, how many feet, how high, okay, what kind of boots you need, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
Is
Yep.
it
Yep.
raining? Is it not raining? And you just like, just jump. And so that action, that call to action is a John Maxwell principle as well. I forget the
Wow.
law of it, the law
Wow.
of,
Yes.
I don't know, movement, or we'll figure it out.
Interaction.
We'll research that one too.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I've learned from you as well. To,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. We learn from each other. That's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
So for all those guys that are jumping, and girls, guys, girls that just jump, when you jump, you hold on and register too. All right. You don't
Please
want
do. Please do. Yes.
to jump into your
Yes.
business. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And especially if it's something that you love. Of course, it's something you love because it's your choice and you're doing it. Let's get
Absolutely.
legitimate. Let's be too legit to quit. And we want to hear about, yeah, those the reaping the benefits. Who you're serving, which is another conversation altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, getting those reviews and who you're serving, how great that feels to read those reviews.
It
Yeah.
does. Absolutely.
That's good. I learned something. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yes,
Your
indeed.
our different styles as entrepreneurs as well.
And that's the beauty of it. Different styles and different personalities. When we put them all together, we can make a nice pot of gumbo. You know what gumbo is?
I've heard of gumbo.
Okay. But yeah, they put a nice mixture of a little bit of everything in there. But when you taste it and you put it all together, whoo, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Sounds very southern.
It is
It
very much
is?
a
Okay.
Louisiana thing.
That's a
Yes,
Louisiana thing. Nice,
yes,
nice. It was a great conversation. Hope someone learned something about being a solopreneur, a
hmm
partnership, aka relationship, and LLCs, the tax IDs, S corp versus C corp, and we touch a little bit on whether or not you're going to be if you're a foundation, if you want to be nonprofit, that still falls under LLC as well. So, looking forward to seeing everyone next week on what's holding you back. We're going to talk about atomic habits.
All right. Looking forward to it very much so. So, yes, on behalf of Christine Allen, my name is Rob McCrae from the Business Building Network. We are so grateful that you have chosen to spend the last, woo, Christine, we're over 36 minutes. We are over time once again, but we apologize, but not apologizing for the information that has been brought forth. We hope that it will empower you and encourage you to go forth and pursue your dreams and your goals with all of your heart and desire. So we want to encourage you to come on back and see and be with us next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of What's Holding You Back.
See you next week. Like and share the broadcast.
Put the name of the book in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. Have a good night, everybody.